Hello friends, this is Tanya from North Star Fitness, home of CrossFit Winnipeg, and welcome back to 3 Things, where we give you 3 tips or 3 action items to help with your health, fitness, or performance. Today's 3 things are 3 signs that you might be overtraining. All right, let's dive right in. So the 3 signs that you might be overtraining are stubborn recurring injury or illness. Number 2 is a change in your mood. And number 3 is a disturbance in your sleep or your appetite. All right, so let's get into the details here a little bit. So what happens when you have a stubborn or recurring injury or illness? So maybe that shoulder thing that was bothering you last year, but that was feeling pretty good, is starting to come back. Or maybe you've had this cold that just won't go away. So this could very easily be a sign that you are overtraining. If you actually think about it, the body really only has a certain amount of resources to use for all of your daily activities, including healing and digesting and your workouts on top of that. So if you think about what a workout actually is, it's a stressor like anything else. And the key to good training is to find that sweet spot of just enough stress where you can recover from it, but not so much that your body can't handle it. So imagine that you have an injury, or perhaps you have a bug, you have a cold or something like that. Well, your body does need to gather up some resources in order to turn on that immune system and to fight that illness. But if you've been training too much, your body just might not have enough of those resources to draw upon in order to heal your body. So one of the first things that we see when someone is training just a little bit too much is going to be, that back injury, that shoulder injury, or that cold or that flu that just keeps coming back or won't go away. So keep an eye out for that. That could be a sign that you might be overtraining. Our second sign, and this one, I call this one the canary in the coal mine, because it's kind of going to be your first indicator that something might be a little bit off with your training. And that is a change in your mood or your psychological state. So what might happen is you might start to find yourself not feeling motivated to come and work out, to come to the gym. Or you might be able to kind of force yourself to show up, but you might find that you don't quite get the same high, those same endorphins that you would usually get after a workout. You might also start to see yourself being perhaps a little bit more irritable, anxious, or depressed, particularly if you're already susceptible to those things. So I generally recommend that in addition to tracking workouts, I actually recommend to all my clients to track your mood in relationship to the workouts as well. And if you start to see too many days where the mood is slipping, that could be a sign that you might have to tinker with your training a little bit. All right, let's go to the third sign that you might be overtraining, and that is disturbances in your sleep or your appetite. So we think that after a really, really great workout, we should be tired and we should have a really great night's sleep, right? Well, that's usually the case. But if your body is overly stressed, that can affect your hormones and a bunch of other things that kind of determine your body's circadian rhythms and its ability to really have a good and restful night's sleep. So you might find that if you're training a little bit too much, that it actually affects either the quantity or the quality of your sleep. Now, the same thing can go for your appetite. We always assume that, when we're training really well, that we're going to have an appropriate level of hunger. But sometimes if we aren't recovering well and we're overtraining and our body's kind of in a state of stress, that can affect the appetite as well, one way or the other. So it might make you get cravings or something like that. But most often what we'll see is you might just not be as hungry as you should be. And that can be a problem, because then you won't be able to recover properly from your workouts if you're not able to eat enough. So all of these can all be signs of overtraining, and it's very important to watch out for them. And the question is then, well, what do you do if you suspect that you might be overtraining? are very simple. You're gonna just take the training down a notch. So you can do this a couple of different ways. I actually recommend to just really take down the intensity and the volume. So if you're used to lifting weights and sprinting and doing high intensity workout, maybe take a week to just play and go for walks and maybe just do some yoga or something like that. Another option would just be to take a week off completely and just see how that goes. So those are all good options, and really your best strategy is just going to be ask your trainer, ask your coach, and from there you guys can make a plan to recover and get back into your regular training routine. Right, have a great day, guys.